Hi everyone. So we're getting closer to the holidays, and Tarte has just been releasing left and right cool new sets for the holidays. So I ended up buying two more, and I have here the Limitless Lippies collection. This is a set of 8 creamy matte lip paints. And then here I have the Sculpted Cheeks. This is a set of 4 blushes, and it comes with a cool little brush in the middle. I'm currently wearing one of these creamy lip paints right now. In spicy. So I'm going to swatch all of these for you, but I wanted to go through the whole unboxing so you can see what this looks like. So, it's got like a whole to from thing on the back. And as you get these out, if you wanted to give them away separately, they also have little to froms on here as well. So I'm going to start off with the purple one here. So as you can see, it has 4 mini lip paints. I was really excited about this set because I just recently got into the creamy lip paints. I can't talk today. And my favorite color is TBT, Throwback Thursday. It's just been this beautiful kind of My Lips But Better color, so I've been in love with it. And so I got really excited when these came out. So let's start off with these 4 right here. So this one looks a little dark for me. I'm a little concerned, but let's just start swatching them. So this one is called Latte, and it's kind of this brownie color is actually a really good way of explaining it. It looks like it's got a hint of red in there, and this is Latte. That looks like such a 90s brown to me. It's kind of funny. So this next one is Candy. Looks like this. And this one is definitely more of a nude color. What I've noticed with these creamy lip paints is they always look darker than they do in the tube, and they dry down a bit darker than when it first swatches onto. I'm okay with that, but it's just something to keep in mind. So this next one is Perf. Looks like this. And this is kind of like a mauve-y kind of nude color. Or what I would call nude on me. It would not be nude on other people. So this next one is, ooh, these are hard to read, Soul. So this is the kind of dark one I'm a little worried about. But it could go either way. It's funny, it looks brown. But then when you pull it out, it looks kind of purple. Like burgundy or a maroon color. And it definitely leans that way when you swatch it too. So you can see here it's like a really, it's got a hint of that kind of purple in there, like of a maroon. It's very red. Whereas it doesn't look as much so in the tube. But, that's pretty good. I still think they look darker than they do in the tube. So, those are fun colors. I think of these, I'm really into the 2 middle colors. Those are definitely going to get a lot of usage. So here they are again. So those are the 4 in the purple set. And now I'm going to do this one. So this one has more kind of reds and pinks, I feel like. Yeah, kind of. So I'm going to get these out. I'm currently wearing one of the ones that are in this set, which I said was spicy. So I'm going to start with that one. Yep, so that's this one, spicy. And see how it looks in the tube and how it looks once it's on me? This is what I mean about them being darker, but it's true of all the creamy lip paints. So there you go. That is a swatch of this. So once it dries down, it's actually a little bit redder, as you can see now that I'm wearing it. And that's what that looks like. All right, so that's spicy. The next one is Manny. So, it looks like kind of a pinky nude. Let's see what it looks like once it's swatched. Yeah, still kind of a pinky nude. I like that though. That looks kind of similar to Throwback Thursday. Let's see. This one is called Honey, and this one is very kind of light nude for me. And once it's swatched, looks like that. I like that a lot. That's really nice. The more I look at these, I think think this one's my favorite. That's a nice color there. And then the very last one, which is the one I was most excited about, is called Juicy, and it's this kind of almost like tomato red color in the tube. So once it's on, it's kind of a deeper red once it's swatched, but it's very pretty. I like that a lot. That's going to be a good holiday color for Christmas. So those are the 8 swatches from the Limitless Lippies collection. So now I'm going to go ahead and move on to these, but I'm going to go grab some wipes so I can get these swatches off. All right, I'm back. So we're going to go ahead and dig into the Sculpted Cheeks set. So all of the Tarte stuff has these patterns and the to from stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the packaging, like the patterns on the packaging, but you know, not the end of the world. What I am a little bummed about is that these blushes, kind of disappointed. They're not as easy to work with as the full size options, and I don't feel that the pigmentation is there either. Sorry, I'm digging all of these out as I'm talking. So we've got the first one here is called Vibrant. So this looks like, you know, a kind of a peachy coral color. Once I dig in, you can see the swatch there. And it's really chalky as I'm swatching it, and it is not super pigmented. Like, you can kind of see it on there. You can see it best there, but not a lot of pigment there. And I have it on my hand, which I just moisturized after getting the other swatches off, and it actually manages to look kind of powdery. So I'm trying to blend it in a little bit more, and it's not really getting any better. So kind of bummed about the quality of these. The next one is Royal. And Royal looks like kind of a brown nude color. We're going to swatch that. Looks like this. And on the skin, hardly in anything. So right here, hardly any color, and it's a little patchy, to be honest. So I'm trying again, trying to build up the color. This is also kind of chalky. It's not great. You can see that the colors are there. I can try to continue building them up, but kind of a letdown. So this is the next one, and this is called Pop. I would say that this is kind of like a bright pink. So that one next looks like this. Again, not a lot of color. You can see it right there. I can try to build it up, but this one is also kind of chalky, which is a bummer. So there it is, me having built it up with another swatch. Another layer of a swatch. So that's 2 layers. I've done 2 layers for each of these, and they don't pack much of a punch when it comes to color. And this is the last one called Genius. And this is kind of like a, I would say it's kind of like a plummy pink kind of color. Swatch that, and that's this one right here. And this is the only one that I felt really packed any pigmentation, and was also kind of chalky, but could be blended in. So that's this one right here, Genius. I would say that of the 4, this is my favorite. I feel like this is a color that will be flattering on my skin tone, and I wouldn't have to build it up to the point where I have a chalky mess on my cheek. Like I said, this one also suffers from a bit of chalkiness, but it tends to blend out better. But yeah, so kind of a letdown. So onto the brush itself. I don't think that this is a good brush for the blushes, to be honest. These are very stiff. I really had to dig my finger in there to get these swatches. And this is very floofy. Floofy and stiff don't really match up very well. So I'll kind of show you. It's super soft. I love the look, but I would probably use this for highlighting or with a very strong blush. So I just dug my blush brush in there, and I want to show you all of the fallout I just got there. That is all fallout right here, that just from barely touching it. It's also all over my table. But now that I have this on here, I'm going to swatch that on. It's going everywhere. And this is what this color looks like when it's put on with a brush, which is the brush that it comes with. So this one being a more pigmented color, I feel like it did okay. I could work with that. But to be honest, I would probably use one of my Stila blush brushes on this so that I wouldn't get so much powder fallout from these, because they are chalky. But let's use the same brush with Royal. So that was the kind of nudie brown color. I'm gonna try to get some of that blush off. It's really floofy, I'm not kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna get in here. This one, not as chalky. I'm not getting powder everywhere, but I'm also not getting any color. So this is what I meant about these being kind of chalky and stiff, is that this is not really picking much up. Here's a swatch of that color on my arm, and it's pretty much non-existent because my brush couldn't really pick much up with this one. So lack of pigment and stiffness and chalkiness, generally that's like the three things you definitely don't want in a blush. So kind of bummed with this set. So this is going to end up going back for me. But you know, depends on what you're looking for. I personally do recommend the lip paint set. I actually love this color. I love the colors it comes with. I think they're fun, and I love the creamy matte lip paint formulas. I feel like they aren't super stiff. They don't settle into lip lines too much, and frankly, I just like that they're very, very flexible. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing something on my lips that's kind of like stopping me from smiling or eating or moving my mouth. I think the creamy matte lip paints are great at being wearable, pretty much. But the blushes, I can't recommend those. I can't recommend the blush set. I actually love Tarte blushes in their full size, but this is not great. I think that the brush is really nice, and I'm kind of excited about that. But, you know, at the end of the day, the price isn't really worth it for just a blush and a brush. So, you know, probably a pass for that one. But the creamy matte lip paints, I definitely recommend. For both sets, they actually are all completely new colors that are non-existent in the general line right now. So it's another good way to try out a bunch of fun new colors, and also a fun way to try out the formula. But like I said, I would only do that with the actual lip paints. I would not do that with the blushes. I do not think that these blushes are representative of the actual Tarte, like, real line of full-size brushes. So yeah, don't get it. And that's it. That's actually all I've got for you guys now. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to answer anything that comes up. If you guys need comparison swatches and I have it, I'm always happy to do that. And yeah, so if you own one of these sets and you hate it or love it, let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, then feel free to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!